Hello students, welcome to this lecture 1 pair of linear equations. In this lecture, we will discuss exercise 3.1. So here question number 1. Here we have to form the pair of linear equations in the following problems and find their solutions graphically. Okay, so here we will use graphical method of a solutions of a pair of linear equations. So in question number 1, we have 10 students of class 10 took part in a mathematics quiz. If the number of girls is 4 more than the number of boys, then find the number of boys and girls who took part in the quiz. Okay, so let's see how to solve this problem. So here we let the number of girls be x and the number of boys be y. According to question, the algebraic representation is x plus y, this is equal to 10, and x minus y, this is equal to 4. So for x plus y is equal to 10, here we can write the variable x in terms of y. Then we get this equation x is equal to 10 minus y. Naming this equation number 1, this is equation number 2, and this equation is equation number 3. Now if we substitute the value of x in equation, so here we get x equal to 4 plus y. Okay, so now we take value of x is 5, then we get the value of y is 5. And when we take x is equal to 4, then we'll get y is equal to 6. And when we take x is 6, then we'll get the value of y is 4. So here we get 3 points. They are 5, 5, 4, 6, and 6, 4. Now we can plot these points on a graph paper. Then we'll get basically a line. Okay. And for x minus y is 4, here we can write the variable x in terms of y as 4 plus y. Okay, and here for value x is equal to 5, we get the value of y is 1. Okay, for here for this you can get when x is 5, then you will get the value when x is basically when y is 1, then we get the value of x is 5. Okay, and when the value of y is 0, then the value of x is 4. And when y is equal to minus 1, then the value of x is 3. So here we get these points 5, 1, 4, 0, and 3, minus 1. Okay, so now we can plot these points and then we can get a graph of a linear equation. Okay, so if we plot these points, then for x plus y is equal to 10, you will get this line. Okay, this line. And if we plot these points, then for x minus y is equal to 4, you will get this line. Okay, and here you can see at 7, 3, these two lines are intersecting to each other. Okay, so here at 7, 3, they are intersecting. Okay, so from the figure it can be observed that these lines intersect each other at point 7, 3. So therefore the number of girls and boys in the class are 7 and 3 respectively. Okay, now let us see question number 2. So in question number 2, we have 5 pencils and 7 pens together cost 50 rupees, whereas 7 pencils and 5 pens together cost rupees 46. Here we have to find the cost of one pencil and that of one pen. Okay, so we can let the cost of one pencil be X and the cost of one pen be Y. Okay. Then according to this question, we will get two linear equations. 5x plus 7y, this is equal to 50, and 7x plus 5y, this is equal to 46. Okay, so let us see how to solve. So here we let the cost of one pencil be rupees X and the cost of one pen be rupees Y. So according to question, the algebraic representation is 5x plus 7y, this is equal to 50, and 7x plus 5y, this is equal to 46. So for now, this equation for 5x plus 7y, this is equal to 50. Here we can express the variable x in terms of y. Then we'll get x is equal to 50 minus 7y divided by 5. Okay. So now if we want to draw the graph, then for this we want some points. Okay, so when y is 5, then x is 3. When x is 10, then y is 0, and when x is minus 4, then y is 10. So here we get 3 points: 3, 5, 10, 0, and minus 4, 10. And now we can plot these points on a graph. Then we'll get a straight line. Okay, and for this equation 7x plus 5y, this is equal to 46. Here we can express the variable x in terms of y. Then we get x is equal to 46 minus 5y divided by 7. Okay, and here for y is minus 2, we get the value of x is 8, and for y is 5, then we get the value of x is 3, and when y is 12, we get the value of x is equal to minus 2. Okay, so here the points are 8, minus 2, 3, 5, and minus 2, 12. So hence the graphic representation is follows this graph. Okay, so here this graph represents by this equation 5x plus 7y is equal to 50. Here this line represented by this equation. Okay, so this equation graphically represented by this line, and here this line, here this equation 7x plus 5y is equal to 46 represented by this line. And here you can see at 3, 5, these two lines are intersecting. Okay, so from the figure it can be observed that these lines intersect each other at point 3, 5. So therefore the cost of a pencil and a pen are rupees 3 and 5 respectively. Okay, now let us move to question number 2. So here in this question we have to compare the ratios A1 by A2, B1 by B2, and C1 by C2, and find out whether the lines representing the following pairs of linear equations intersect at a point, or parallel, or coincident. Okay, so here we have given in question number 1 this pair of linear equation 5x minus 4y plus 8 is equal to 0, and 7x plus 6y minus 9 is equal to 0. Okay, so here if we compare this equation, with the pair of linear equation a1x plus b1y plus c1 is equal to 0, and a2x plus b2y plus c2 is equal to 0, then we obtain the value of a1, this is 5, the value of b1 is minus 4, and the value of c1 is equal to 8. Okay, and the value of a2 is 7, and the value of b2 is 6, and the value of c2 is equal to minus 9. So now we can find the ratios a1 by a2, b1 by b2, and c1 by c2. Okay, So A1 by A2, this is equal to 5 by 7. B1 by B2, this is equal to minus 4 by 6, that is equal to minus 2 by 3. Okay, and here you can observe that A1 by A2 does not equal to B1 by B2. Okay, so since A1 by A2 does not equal to B1 by B2, hence the lines representing the given pair of equations have a unique solution. Okay, and the pair of lines intersect at exactly one point. Now let us move to question number 2. Okay, so here we have given this pair of linear equation 9x plus 3y plus 12, this is equal to 0, and 18x plus 6y plus 24 is equal to 0. Okay, so let us see how to solve it. So we have given this pair of linear equation. Okay, so compare this equation with a1x plus b1y plus c1 is equal to 0 and a2x plus b2y plus c2 is equal to 0. Okay, then we obtain a1, this is equal to 9, b1, this is equal to 3, and c1, this is equal to 12. And a2, this is equal to 18, b2, this is equal to 6, and c2, this is equal to 24. Now the ratios a1 by a2 is equal to 9 by 18, that is equal to 1 by 2. And the ratio b1 by b2, this is equal to 3 by 6, and this is equal to 1 by 2. And the ratio c1 by c2, this is equal to 12 by 24, that is basically equal to 1 by 2. So since a1 by a2, this is equal to b1 by b2, this is equal to c1 by c2. Okay, so hence the lines representing the given pair of equations are coincident, and there are infinite possible solutions for the given pair of linear equations. Okay, now for question number 3, here we have given this pair of linear equations 6x minus 3y plus 10 is equal to 0 and 2x minus y plus 9 is equal to 0. Okay, so now comparing this equation with a1x plus b1y plus c1, this is equal to 0 and a2x plus b2y plus c2 is equal to 0. Then we obtain the value a1 is 6 and the value of b1 is minus 3 and the value of c1 is equal to 10. And the value of a2, this is equal to 2, the value of b2 is equal to minus 1 and the value of c2 is equal to 9. Okay, so now the ratio a1 by a2, this is equal to 6 by 2 and this is equal to 3 by 1. Okay, and the ratio b1 by b2, this is equal to minus 3 upper minus 1, this is equal to 3 by 1. And the ratio c1 by c2, this is equal to 10 by 9. Okay, and here we can observe that a1 by a2, this is equal to b1 by b2 but does not equal to c1 by c2. Okay, so since a1 by a2, this is equal to b1 by b2 but does not equal to c1 by c2, so hence the lines representing the given pair of linear equations are parallel to each other and hence these lines will never intersect each other at any point. Okay, so or there is no possible solution for the given pair of equations. So now let us move to question number 3. So in this question, here one comparing the ratios a1 by a2, comma b1 by b2, comma and c1 by c2. Find out whether the following pair of linear equations are consistent or inconsistent. Okay, so here we have given this pair of linear equations. So first of all, we have to compare this equation with the general form of a pair of linear equations a1x plus b1y plus c1 is equal to 0 and a2x plus b2y plus c2 is equal to 0. Okay, so let us see how to solve it. So here we have given this pair of linear equation. Okay, and if we compare this equation with the general form of a pair of linear equations, a1x plus b1y plus c1 is equal to 0 and a2x plus b2y plus c2 is equal to 0. Then here the value of a1 is 3 and b1 is 2 and c1 is minus 5. And here the value of a2 is 2 and the value of b2 is minus 3 and the value of c2 is minus 7. Okay, so the ratios a1 by a2, this is equal to 3 by 2, b1 by b2, this is equal to minus 2 by 3, and the c1 by c2, this is equal to minus 5 by minus 7. Okay, that is 5 by 7. So here a1 by a2, this is does not equal to b1 by b2. Okay, so a1 by a2, this is not equal to b1 by b2. So these linear equations are intersecting each other at one point and thus have only one possible solution. Hence, the pair of linear equations is consistent. Okay. Now, number 2, we have 2x minus 3y, this is equal to 8, and 4x minus 6y, this is equal to 9. Okay. So here the ratio a1 by a2, this is equal to 2 by 4, that is equal to 1 by 2. And the ratio b1 by b2, this is equal to minus 3 upon minus 6, and this is equal to 1 by 2. Okay. And the ratio c1 by c2, this is equal to 8 by 9. Since a1 by a2, this is equal to b1 by b2, but does not equal to c1 by c2. Okay. So therefore, these linear equations are parallel to each other and thus have no possible solutions. Hence, the pair of linear equations is inconsistent. Okay. Now, question number 3, we have this pair of linear equation. Okay. So here the ratio a1 by a2, this is equal to 3 by 2 divided by 9, and this is equal to 1 by 6. And the ratio b1 by b2, this is equal to 5 by 3 divided by minus 10, and this is equal to minus 1 by 6. And the ratio c1 by c2, this is equal to 7 by 14, that is equal to 1 by 2. Since a1 by a2 does not equal to b1 by b2, therefore these linear equations are intersecting each other at one point and that does have only one solution, only one possible solution. Hence, the pair of linear equation is consistent. Okay. Now, let us move to question number 4. So in question number 4, we have this pair of linear equation. So let us see how to solve it. Okay. So here the ratio a1 by a2, this is equal to 5 by minus 10 and this is equal to minus 1 by 2. And the ratio b1 by b2, this is equal to minus 3 by 6 and this is equal to minus 1 by 2. Okay. And the ratio c1 by c2, this is equal to 11 by minus 22. This is equal to minus 1 by 2. So here you can see the ratio a1 by a2, this is equal to b1 by b2 and this is equal to c1 by c2. Okay. Since a1 by a2, this is equal to b1 by b2, this is equal to c1 by c2. Therefore, these linear equations are coincident pair of lines and thus have infinite number of possible solutions. Hence, the pair of linear equation is consistent. Okay. Now, let us move to question number 5. So in question number 5, we have given this pair of linear equation. Okay. So here the ratio a1 by a2, this is equal to 4 by 3 divided by 2 and this is equal to 2 by 3. And the ratio b1 by b2, this is equal to 2 by 3 and the ratio c1 by c2, this is equal to 8 by 12, that is equal to 2 by 3. Okay. Since a1 by a2, this is equal to b1 by b2 and this is equal to c1 by c2. Therefore, these linear equations are coincident pair of lines and thus have infinite number of possible solutions. Okay. So hence the pair of linear equation is consistent. Okay. So now let us move to question number 4. So in this question, here we have to say which of the following pairs of the equations are consistent or inconsistent. If consistent, obtain the solutions graphically. Okay. So in number 1 we have given x plus y, this is equal to 5, and 2x plus 2y, this is equal to 10. Okay, so here x plus y, this is 5, and 2x plus 2y, this is equal to 10. So here the ratio a1 by a2, this is equal to 1 by 2, and the ratio b1 by b2, this is equal to 1 by 2, and the ratio c1 by c2 is equal to also 5 by 10, that is equal to 1 by 2. Okay, so since a1 by a2, this is equal to b1 by b2, this is equal to c1 by c2, therefore these linear equations are consistent pair of lines and thus have infinite number of possible solutions. Okay, hence the pair of linear equation is consistent. So if we draw the graph of this line, then basically we'll get this line. So the graph of this line equation x plus y is equal to 5 represented by this line. So this is the graph of this pair of linear equation. Okay, and here each and one point are solution of this pair of linear equation. Okay, and now let us move to next one. So in next question we have this pair of linear equation x minus y, this is equal to 8, and 3x minus 3y, this is equal to 16. Okay, so here we have given this. Okay, so here ratio a1 by a2, this is equal to 1 by 3, and the ratio b1 by b2, this is equal to -1 by -3, and this is equal to 1 by 3, and the ratio c1 by c2, this is equal to 8 by 16, this is equal to 1 by 2. Okay, since a1 by a2, this is equal to b1 by b2 but does not equal to c1 by c2. Okay, so therefore these linear equations are parallel to each other and thus have no possible solution. Okay, hence the pair of linear equations is inconsistent. Okay, and for third one we have given this pair of linear equation 2x plus y minus 6 is equal to 0 and 4x minus 2y minus 4 is equal to 0. So here the ratio a1 by a2, this is equal to 2 by 4, this is equal to 1 by 2. Okay, and the ratio b1 by b2, this is equal to -1 by 2, and the ratio c1 by c2, this is equal to -6 upon -4, that is equal to 3 by 2. And since a1 by a2, this is not equal to b1 by b2, so therefore these linear equations are intersecting each other at one point and thus have only one solution. Hence the pair of linear equation is consistent. Okay, now let us move to question number 5. So here we have given this information: have the perimeter of a rectangular garden whose length is 4 meters more than its width is 36 meters. So find the dimension of the garden. Okay, so we need to find the dimensions of the garden. So here we let the width of the garden be x and the length be y. Okay, so according to the question, here y minus x, this is equal to 4, and y plus x, this is equal to 36. Okay, so naming this equation 1 and this is equation 2. And now from equation 1, here we can express the variable y in terms of x. Okay, so y is equal to x plus 4. And now for this equation y minus x, this is equal to 4. Here we get some values of x and y. So when x is 0, then y is 4. When x is 8, then y is 12, and when x is 12, then the value of y is 16. Okay, so now we can plot all these points and we get a line. Okay, and for this equation y plus x equal to 36, here when x is 0, then y is 36. When x is 36, then y is 0, and when x is 16, then the value of y is 20. Okay, so now if we plot all these points, okay, then we'll get a linear equation. So hence the graphic representation as follows: this. Okay, this is the graphical representation of this pair of linear equation. Okay, so this line is y plus x is equal to 36 represented by this line, and y minus x is equal to 4 represented by this line. Okay, and they are intersecting at 16,20. Okay, say they are intersecting at 16,20. So here the value of x is equal to 16 and the value of y is equal to 20. Therefore, the length and width of the given garden is 20 meter and 16 meter respectively. Okay. Now let us move to question number 6. So here, given the linear equation 2x plus 3y minus 8 is equal to 0, and write another linear equation in two variables such that the geometrical representation of the pair as formed is intersecting lines, parallel lines, coincident lines. Okay, so let us see how to take. So here, intersecting lines, when intersecting for this condition, here we need this condition a1 by a2 does not equal to b1 by b2. So the second line such that it is intersecting at the given line, okay, is 2x plus 4y minus 6 is equal to 0. As a1 by a2, this is equal to 2 by 2, this is equal to 1. b1 by b2, this is equal to 3 by 4. And here a1 by a2 does not equal to b1 by b2. Okay, so for intersecting lines, we can take this linear equation. Okay, now for parallel lines, for this condition a1 by a2, this is equal to b1 by b2 does not equal to c1 by c2. So hence the second line can be 4x plus 6y minus 8 is equal to 0. And we take this because the ratio a1 by a2, this is equal to 2 by 4, this is equal to 1 by 2. Okay, and the ratio b1 by b2, this is equal to 3 by 6, that is also equal to 1 by 2. And the ratio of c1 by c2, this is equal to minus 8 by minus 8, that is equal to 1. And here clearly a1 by a2, this is equal to b1 by b2, but does not equal to c1 by c2. Okay, so for this we can take second line 4x plus 6y minus 8 is equal to 0. Okay, and now for coincident lines, the condition is a1 by a2, this is equal to b1 by b2, this is equal to c1 by c2. Hence the second line can be 6x plus 9y minus 24 is equal to 0. Okay, as a1 by a2, this is equal to 2 by 6, and this is equal to 1 by 3, and b1 by b2, this is equal to 3 by 9, and this is equal to 1 by 3, and the ratio c1 by c2, this is equal to minus 8 by minus 24, that is equal to 1 by 3 also. Okay, so here clearly a1 by a2, this is equal to b1 by b2, this is equal to c1 by c2. Okay, so if we take this equation, then the given equation and these equations are coincident lines. Okay, and let us move to question number 7. So here, draw the graphs of the equation x minus y plus 1 is equal to 0 and 3x plus 2y minus 12 is equal to 0, and determine the coordinates of the vertices of the triangle formed by these lines and x-axis side the triangular region. Okay, so here we have given this equation x minus y, this is equal x minus y plus 1 is equal to 0. So you can express x as y minus 1. Okay, and we take some values here, the values x and y, and if we plot this point, then we'll get this line. Okay, so this is the equation x minus y plus 1 is equal to 0 represented by this line. And for second one, 3x plus 2y minus 12 is equal to 0. Here we can express the variable x in terms of y, that is equal to 12 minus 2y divided by 3. Okay, and if we now take the sum value of y, then we'll get the corresponding value of x. Okay, when we take y is 0, then we take the value of x is 4. When y is 3, then we take the value of, we get the value of x is 2, and when we take the value of y is 6, then we'll get the value of x is 0. Okay, and now if we plot these points, then you will get the graphic representations of this pair graphic representation of this equation, this is this. Okay, so this is the graphical representation of 3x plus 2y minus 12 is equal to 0. And here clearly you can see at 2, 3 point, these two lines are intersecting to each other. Okay, so here you can see these two lines and x-axis makes together a triangle. Okay, triangle. And for this triangle, here the vertices are 2, 3, minus 1, 0 and 4, 0. Okay, so the vertices of the triangle are 2, 3, minus 1, 0 and 4, 0. So I stop here this lecture. So thank you very much to all of you.